Hello, and thanks for tuning in for another Watch What's Happening with Hope Hillcum. I'm your host, Hope Hillcum, and I don't have to hope for long. Today, I get to meet with a representative from TransKentucky. This is an episode you don't want to miss. Growing up in a small conservative town was no easy feat for a queen like me, but the rejection I faced in my youth was turned into motivation. A lot of different people and experiences have made me the person I am today, and I hope this show can be a platform for other LGBTQ family members to tell their stories while indulging in some drag queen fun. That's why I've created What's Happening with Hope Hillcum. Hello, and thanks for watching another episode of What's Happening with Hope Hillcum. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Miss Sylvia Rose from TransKentucky. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Great, glad to hear it. So I'm going to start out with a pretty basic question. Can you tell us a little bit about where you're from and what got you involved in TransKentucky?
Sure. So I'm from Michigan originally, and I moved down to Kentucky for work.
Oh, okay.
Like most people, work takes you
Right,
wherever you're
right.
going to go. And then, so that's where I'm from originally. And then, what got me involved in TransKentucky was I've long identified as transgender,
Okay.
and arrived in this area and was looking for a support organization to participate with and help me, with the journey and everything. And found TransKentucky online, went to a few meetings, and jumped right in. So.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm assuming you found that probably on PCSO's website, or do they have their own website? Or
No, how did I find that? Because we didn't have our own website at that point in time. We just had a discussion group, a Yahoo discussion group. So I imagine I ran across it somewhere.
You ran across it somewhere. Well, the beauty of it, at least you found it, and now you're here talking with me, and I love it. So, what do you do outside of your involvement with TransKentucky?
So I do a lot of different things. I like to participate in a lot of charitable fundraiser type events, various community organizations, and I also like to play games. So
Okay.
went to the big game event this last weekend here in Lexington.
Okay.
So got to play games with lots of people.
Like gamers, like video games, or like board games?
Board
or
games.
Board games,
A
I love it.
lot of board games, role-playing games.
Okay.
Gosh, I don't know, card games, little miniature games.
Yeah, I didn't know that they had stuff like that, like
yeah.
a convention of that stuff. Oh,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sounds like a lot of fun, because I'm a big card player myself. I love
Very
playing
good.
cards. My grandma got me into it, like whenever I was a kid. She started me off young, and now I just can't get out of it. So I've heard a lot about the great things that TransKentucky does, but can you tell me a little bit, and for people out there that don't know what TransKentucky is, what the organization does and what it is?
Right. So TransKentucky is a support group. Well, not really support, right? It's more of a social group than a support group.
Okay.
But our mission is to be there for people who are gender variant. Is really what I want to say, because we're not just about transgender people.
Okay.
We're transsexual people. We include pretty much all gender variant individuals, cross-dressers, gender benders, gender queer.
Yeah.
The whole
Gender fluid, like that gender fluidity. Yeah. That's very awesome, because I feel like sometimes we get caught up in just the transgender, and this is transgender man, this is a transgender woman, but we don't really see the fluidity of what gender is and have people's perspectives on that. So that's very nice that your organization is very accepting of different perspectives on gender.
Well, and we get a lot of individuals who come to us that are gender questioning. They don't know where they fall in that spectrum, and so they kind of come to our meetings. And they have the opportunity there to talk to different people and kind of learn about what it means to be transgender, what it means to be transsexual, what it means to be gender fluid or whatever.
Right.
And they can kind of start to feel out where do they fit, if anywhere.
Right.
In that spectrum.
Yeah, and I mean that's like a huge thing, because we don't. That's not like a subject that they really teach in schools, and something that a lot of people, if you're not fortunate enough to live into a surrounding that can kind of surround you with that thing, for the majority of us, we're not in environments that we're surrounded with the ability to think about gender fluidity. So it's nice that you provide a community for people to be able to explore in a peaceful and nice setting,
Safe.
in a
safe setting. Yes, safe is the word. I love that. Wonderful. So you say that you are one of the leaders for TransKentucky.
Yes.
Can you please tell me maybe a little bit about what you do in that position?
So me, primarily, what I do is I help facilitate the meetings. I open the Pride Center, get people in the door,
Right.
and then moderate the meeting, kind of, hey, we're going to start the meeting, and here's what we're going to do, and
Right.
keep the agenda rolling and forward.
Right.
And then, of course, at the end, close it, make sure everything's cleaned up, and shoot everybody out and lock the door. But outside of that, I mean, there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes.
Right. Right. That's what we want to hear, the nitty-gritty. We want to hear behind the scenes. We want to hear behind the scenes.
So I do a lot of work to organize guest speakers, bring in people to talk to us, particularly on topics that are of interest to the group.
Yeah.
I also do a lot of work interfacing with other groups, UK groups, area business groups, PCSO as an example, Lexington Fairness as an example. So I'm constantly kind of wheeling around in all those different.
A lot of different things.
Yeah.
Your feet in a lot of different waters.
Yep.
Love it. So, can you tell me maybe about an experience that you had that you would consider the most rewarding while working with TransKentucky?
Oh, the most rewarding. Wow.
I know, it's like so vast. It's like a big pond, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think one of the key things that's really important to me is that as an organization, TransKentucky provides a lot of the things that I was looking for when I was younger and didn't really know anything about the community and was afraid,
Right, yeah.
So it's really awesome when somebody comes in the door and says, gosh, I'm so glad you were here. You had this, this, and this. I've been looking everywhere. I couldn't find it. It's just so nice to know, yes, I made a difference. This group made a difference. Together as a community, hopefully we're making a difference for the community as well.
Yeah. So it sounds like that this group really made an impact on you, and in turn you're trying to help give that same impact to somebody else, and that's fantastic.
Yes.
And
Pay it forward.
Pay it forward. I know. I love that movie, and it's big. It's good that people are actually following, what the mission of Pay It Forward actually is. So, from what I've collected, it seems as though your group participates in a lot of open discussions on a monthly basis.
Yes.
What are some of the topics that are discussed during this discussion? So not like in depth because it's a very safe space, but just the brief discussion topics.
Sure, right. Well, like I said, we have a number of guest speakers that come in. So we've had a lot of discussions lately around safety, particularly safe sex, which is a big one. We had AVOL come in and talk to us about that and AIDS prevention and things like that. We've had discussions recently about safety in community, being out on the street after dark, that kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
Because as trans people, we're subject to a lot of hate crimes and things like that, so you really have to be cognizant of those things.
Yeah.
But we also do a lot of medical related things. We have some doctors who come in and are guest speakers rather frequently about healthcare needs for the transgender community, hormone support, just generally taking care of yourself, quit smoking, those kinds of things, But then we have a lot of open discussions too, which are more member driven, where people can bring up topics that are of concern to them. Oftentimes these are things like, I'm new to all this, where do I get a wig, where do I get breast forms, where do I get, what are safe restaurants to go eat at? We talk about a lot of those kinds of things that are of interest to the community.
Yeah, and when I was doing my research on your website and I think PCSO's website as well, it's nice that you provide the resources of where to find your wigs and where to find this and what are some friendly transgender businesses and where are these friendly environments. Because even if they don't come to your meetings, it's nice that you provide that to them.
Right.
So it's nice that they have like a location where they can find the resources that they need. So what do you think an open discussion, do you think that's more effective with dealing with these topics that you talk about during your meetings than just one-on-one, or what do you like, I guess, about the open discussion forum?
Well, so there's a little bit of both, and we try to organize our meetings to do both.
Okay.
So we'll have a more formal discussion sequence for the first hour and a half of the meeting, which will be really kind of a group setting, sometimes facilitated by leaders, sometimes it just kind of goes back and forth.
Right.
And then toward the end of the meeting, we'll have more of a, I would call it more of a small group discussion, because some people are really uncomfortable in the big group talking.
Yeah.
So we really want to give them a chance to go off and be one-on-one with it.
Right.
If that's what they want, or two-on-one, or whatever it works out to be.
Right.
But I think in the big group discussion, the thing that's helpful for a lot of people, especially, at least from my perspective, is when you come to a group like that and you start meeting a lot of people who are like you, you begin to realize that not only am I not alone, I'm not uncommon.
Yeah.
You know, there's lots of people out there. They've had lots of the same problems that I've had, and the solutions to those problems aren't one size fits all. It's really kind of, everybody's got their own little flavor of what they need to do and what works for them. So I think there's a lot of strength in the larger group, but it's also important to have the smaller group or the one-on-one opportunity.
Right, yeah. So, do you address any possible solutions to problems facing the transgender community? And if so, how do you take those solutions and implement them outside of just the discussion space?
So I have to say no. We're not an advocacy group. We don't do a lot of advocacy.
Right.
We kind of leave that to some of the larger groups, like Lexington Fairness, PCSO, because frankly we don't have any funding, and most of our members are very secretive. They don't want to be public. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to be on camera. Like me. or whatever. So it's really hard to do advocacy or to go have a protest when nobody wants to be seen.
Right.
You know, so it's just, we try to focus on having a safe, kind of semi-private setting where individuals can socialize, mingle, and focus on that. Now, at the same time, though, we're very supportive of other organizations. As needed, we have members on PCSO's board to help with the transgender representation there.
Right.
I've gone to a lot of Lexington Fairness's board meetings. I'm not on their board, but you know, I go to their meetings and try to interface with them there. We have some members that participate in the UK campuses activities to try to help there.
Now, so y'all do some stuff.
We do, but very small and kind of discreet ways. And largely our leadership, you know, who are more mature within the transgender realm and more out.
Yeah. And you know, we all do the work that we can and what we feel comfortable doing, and I think it's great that y'all are working in the capacity that you can feel is necessary, and I love that. So, what are some of the goals that TransKentucky has for the future?
Well, for us, we continue to try to grow our active membership base. We have a very large online membership. We're well over 300 people.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's amazing to me. I'm like, who are they all?
Hey, come to my meeting, come on. You love it.
Well, we get about 10%. So we run at an average meeting anywhere between 10 and it would be a very light meeting. 30 would be a large meeting. We're usually in the 20-25 range.
Great.
So that's pretty.
I mean, that's really good attendance.
For us. So that's great. And, I forgot the question.
So no, you're fine. Some of the different goals. You said building up your membership.
Yes. So we want to grow our membership in the active membership. People who are coming to the meetings, who want to participate with us, help us go to some of these events where maybe we're talking to incoming students or being visible in the community. Like we'll participate in the Pride Festival. We've done that for several years now. It's always nice to have new blood volunteers to help with that, and things like that. But then institutionally, we really want to grow and improve our website. But that takes expertise and time. And we're working on it, but
we're getting there.
Yeah.
I like it. So how do people watching this get involved with TransKentucky?
So getting involved with TransKentucky really starts with applying to our email list distribution on our website. So on our website we have a link where you can fill out the membership request form, and that then comes to Beanie or one of the other leaders to review, because we don't open the group to just anybody. This kind of goes back to being safe, trying to keep it a safe group.
Right.
So we review all applications for membership, and then members who are approved get added to the email distribution list. And then once you're on the email distribution list, you'll see discussions come up like, when's the next meeting? Are we all going out for dinner somewhere? Kind of what's going on. And then, you know, from there you come to a meeting or go to an activity and jump in and participate.
Great. Love to hear. So what are some of the types of members that you're looking for? I know we talked a little bit about just different gender fluidities, but can you maybe go a little bit into depth of what you're looking for?
So we accept people who are gender variant across the spectrum. We are dominated by male, female, transgender persons at this time, but not everybody is that. I mean, we have a number of other folk.
Right.
One of the key members that we have that I should really mention is we get a lot of allies.
Great.
People who are not gender variant themselves, but work with gender variant individuals or have a gender variant family member, maybe a gender variant child or a spouse, or maybe just a coworker.
Right.
So we have a lot of allies that also come to our meetings, which is wonderful. I mean, we're great right now.
How do you think these allies coming to these meetings is helpful to, you know, not only the people that are trans themselves, but for the community as a whole?
I think allies are really a very important part of the transgender community and helping influence the community, because frankly, transgender people, we represent probably 1/100th of a percent of the population.
Right.
We're really tiny.
Yeah.
So we can't be everywhere, we can't be all places, and we can't, frankly, there's a lot of people out there who've never met a transgender person that they know of.
Yeah.
So allies are very helpful because hopefully there's a lot more of them, and they're out there in the community, and people who have questions can approach them and ask and not be afraid, you know, oh, I'm gonna approach this trans person, I don't know what to say, you know.
Right.
So there's somebody they can relate to a little better that they can ask questions of and learn. I mean, I think so much of the problem with discrimination and stuff is ignorance. People just don't understand.
Right.
They don't know. And so allies, if they can help educate the community, educate other people, it's just wonderful.
Great. So I know that you said that your events are kind of kept secret to your group.
Yes.
Can you tell us about, you said that maybe y'all were going to be at, some of your members are going to be at Pride to talk about the group?
Yes, we will have, typically every year we have a booth at Pride.
Great.
So we have a table that we set up. We've done different things in different years. I'm not quite sure what the plan is this year. But usually there's a couple people there at the table to talk to individuals, tell you a little bit about the group. We usually have some books and some pamphlets out that people can look at.
Great.
To learn about us, and
yeah. And you know, I had Chad in here to talk about the Pridefest.
Yes.
And we were talking about how wonderful it is to have it be free and people can just come right on through. Because you know, when you have pamphlets like that, and you have people that are at the booth, if people have questions, it's like a one-stop shop. They can come and they can ask you right there and then, and stop not only the ignorance, but just to be able to ask and educate themselves. And like that's a huge first step for somebody too, to be able to ask, and so we encourage everybody to go to Pride. So
Pride's a great event. It's been a blockbuster as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Yeah. And last week's Pride was nothing short of fantastic, and I can't wait to see y'all there for this Pride. So, can you tell us a little bit about the exact website, maybe a little bit of the Facebook group, and if you have one, and maybe an Instagram if you have one, or?
So we don't have Instagram. But
all right.
So we have a website. It's www.TransKentucky, and that's spelled out TransKentucky. .com, and .org works as well. They both point to the same place.
Great.
So that's our website. several pages there. So definitely browse through the tabs and find a resource and
Yeah.
tabs and links and stuff.
Right, because there you have those tabs on there that links people to resources, and
Yep.
you have that tab on there for the application that you were talking about
For
for
the application.
membership.
Should be
and
right there on the front page.
yeah, I think it is actually right there. So make sure to go on there if you're thinking about this group and fill out that application so she can read your application and we can get you in. So, in light of current legislation in North Carolina, sorry to get like deep now, and Mississippi that discriminate against the trans community using bathrooms of their gender identity.
Yeah.
What are your opinions on these laws, and how do we come together to stop these discriminatory legislations?
Yeah. So I think they're stupid, frankly.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree.
we haven't needed them up till now. So one of the interesting things that happened with TransKentucky is we invited the Fayette County Police to come out and talk to us one year, and they were great, by the way. They were really nice. So,
Great.
we had a couple of police officers come out and talk to us as a group. One of the questions that came up was, what happens if somebody complains because we're in the bathroom or whatever? You know?
Right.
And I loved their answer, and I bring it up for that reason, because I thought their answer was very, very, very good, and the way it really should be. They told us, they said, we're not going to arrest anybody because they're in the wrong bathroom. We're not concerned with which bathroom you're in, but we will arrest somebody for what you're doing in the bathroom.
Right. Right.
And we don't care whether you're gay, straight, transgender,
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
If you're doing illegal things in the bathroom, we're going to arrest you.
Right. It doesn't matter what bathroom you're
It doesn't
in.
matter which one.
If you're doing illegal things, I mean, that's what gets you arrested,
Yes.
not just peacefully using the bathroom.
That's right. If you gotta pee, you're in there
Right.
for whatever to go pee. Well, that's fine.
And that's a fantastic answer.
It is. It really is.
Fantastic to have the police come and speak with you guys, because you see different things about just the police not being understanding about different things. So to actually relate and have people from the police force come and speak with you all about that, it's just absolutely fantastic in building that relationship.
Yep. Well, they talked to us about a lot of other things, but that came up, and it was an excellent answer. And it really
Great.
should be the answer everywhere.
Great.
So I mean, whatever you are, if you're in the bathroom doing something wrong, you get arrested.
I love it. I love it. So, my last question, and I know it's a little bit deep, so you don't have to answer. You can answer in whatever way you want. How has TransKentucky personally helped you?
So, for me, TransKentucky's really provided a lot of the things, like I think I was saying earlier, that I really hope that TransKentucky as an organization provides now to other people.
Mm-hmm.
I was nervous and scared and didn't really know what was going on. I mean, I knew I was transgender. I'd known that for a long, long time. But I had finally reached a place in life where I realized I couldn't live comfortably hiding it anymore. I had to incorporate it into who I am
Yeah.
and into my life.
Yeah.
Well, so when I did that, I started reaching out. I actually think I found TransKentucky through my therapist.
Ah.
So now that I remember this, yes. So I was going to see a therapist. She pointed me to them and said, "Hey, go check out this support group," and I did. And it was really a good place to make friends who will go with you that first time to the restaurant, go with you that first time to the store to buy whatever.
Right.
Or actually, we went as a group, several of us. The point is, we made friends. We went places as a group, which is a safe thing to do. I always encourage people to go as a group and get out and start getting comfortable with who I am. That the world's not going to throw tomatoes at me every time I turn.
Right. Right.
That it's okay, and I can be human. I may be trans, but I'm human too.
Right.
They really helped me a lot with that, and I appreciate it, and I do hope that we're paying it forward.
Great, I'm glad to hear that. Well, I just want to thank you so much for meeting with me, and I just want to thank you guys for watching. I hope that you learned a little bit about what TransKentucky offers the not only the transgender community, but the gender fluid community out here in Lexington, Kentucky. So thank you again,
Thank you.
and I hope to talk with you soon.
All right, thanks.
Great.